Hi everybody, we'd like to welcome you to our team call. It's been nearly 2 months now since we last did our team call. So we want to thank you for all that you did over the summer, and we're going to do some recognition in a minute and do some announcements. So I hope you all had a wonderful summer. We had a great summer, and there's lots of things about doTERRA over the last couple of weeks with convention, which we're going to summarise today. But I also just got back from a boot camp in Portugal, which was the best boot camp I think that some of the leaders have ever done. It was fantastic. So the next boot camps that start to come out, they do like 2 or 3 a year. I would highly recommend that you go to them because they are really good. And the boot camps are about building the business. Bit of mindset, practical, some skills, a little bit of fluff, which I actually like this time. So yeah, it was really good. I was really, really impressed and really enjoyed myself. And there was some great talks to inspire you as well. So I'm going to try and do this in half an hour, so we can be concise for everybody. And then we'll open it up to questions for you afterwards. So if you want to just put your comments in the text, if you want to ask questions as we go, and we'll answer them at the end, or if you just want to at the end open up the mic and we can talk freely like that, is our preferred way. So we'll start with the announcements. So we'll do recognition in a second, but we have the London Summit coming up. Now, unfortunately, all the tickets are booked out. Now, there are a couple of people that can't make it, so if you keep on the Facebook groups, the corporate groups for Europe, you'll see that some people are saying that they can't make it. So if you really want to go, and it would be good, I would ask to have one of their tickets and see if you can get put in. Boyd Truman is coming, who is a double presidential diamond, and I didn't really know who he was until he came to Portugal, and he really blew me away with the stuff he knows about the products. So some of the guys were telling me that Dr. Hill, if he's not sure of something, he'll sometimes go to Boyd and ask. So this guy knows a lot of what he's talking about, and he's doing 40 minutes on some of the consumables like Terrazyme and Zendocrine, which a lot of us don't know tons and tons about. So he's a real expert in all that. So if you can go, he'll be talking about those. We've got the Northampton Business Day, which has been linked on the corporate groups, but I haven't put the link up on our Facebook groups yet, but I will tomorrow. So if you want to book the Northampton Business Day, it is a third sold out already. There's only 300 spots, and we've sold 100 already. So make sure you book it. Still plenty of space at the moment, but make sure you book. And it's only £25 for the day. Okay. There's going to be Hayley Hobson there, who's a double presidential diamond. Boyd Truman again. We've got Boyd Truman to come, and he's going to again talk about some of the consumables, use some of his expertise as to how to use the products to build your business. We've got Rebecca talking, there's UK leaders, there's a presidential diamond from Australia coming to talk about how she's built the business, Ben and Jess Stride. So it's going to be a great day. And then the Essential Oils Day is run by corporate on the Saturday. That's £35 if you get the early bird, and that includes lunch as well. So it includes a good lunch. So make sure you come to that as well, because it's a great day all about learning about essential oils. And that's for consumers as well. So if you've got customers that, really good customers that are interested in coming to that, then it's all for them. It's not about the business. And you might be able to, there'll be a business stand that they might be able to be interested in talking to one of us about the business.
And we've had people in the past who have come to that day just as customers and then decide to be business people by the end of that day. So it is a good thing to get, as many of your customers there as possible, if you can. And also, very importantly, after the business day, there's a party Friday night.
Oh, I forgot about the party.
About the party.
Yes. Yes, there is a party. So yeah, there was a video going around, someone said, of me in like some kind of Indian headdress. That's not me. That's not me if that's going around. So also, the next boot camp they're going to announce very soon, so just keep an eye out for that and book it, because boot camps only are between 100 to 200 because the rooms that they use are quite small, so they get booked up very quickly.
And for those of you that might be very new to that, boot camp term, it's for the whole of Europe, and they hold them in different locations, around Europe. So we don't know where the next one is going to be, but we'll let you know.
And it's leaders like us, but we're not involved in the boot camps, but there's a European group, several of them, and they do it off their own back. They don't get paid by doTERRA. They do it, and they do it for all the teams in Europe, just like we do the business days for the UK. They do the same thing for Europe. So they give their time and they make a lot of effort with them. So it's really good. Don't forget to book UK convention, okay, because it's in the UK and who knows how long it's going to be back next year in May. That's going to be great. At convention, they also announced leadership, and we'll be putting them on our Facebook groups in the next couple of weeks. But leadership I went to this year, and it really, really inspired me. It's the best event I've ever been to that doTERRA put on. I preferred it to convention slightly because it's all about the business. And I really enjoyed that. Well, I say all about the business. It could have been more about the business. I would like more, but it's about product and much more about the business.
And so there's 2 of those. So one's located in California and one's in Florida.
Yes. Day trip to Universal Studios, always a good one. Or week trip. And then if your people aren't on the Essential Gifts of the Earth Facebook page, make sure they are. My mum runs that page, and it's really good. She posted, a lot of you will have seen, she posted loads of great live videos. So for those of you that weren't able to purchase it or watch some of the videos, there's some really great videos of convention, and it's all about the oils, all about the essential oils on that page. So make sure you add people to that, because it's a really great resource, inspiring. Okay, so we've got recognition now. So I know it's a bit late for August, but we want to recognise these people because some people have done extremely well, and we want to recognise them. So August recognition, we have these people reached elite. And remember, August is the hardest month except February of the whole year. Everyone's on holiday. So how these people found people to sign them up, I have no idea.
Maybe on holiday.
Maybe they did it on holiday, like Leslie and Craig. I think they did that class on holiday.
Stalked people.
So we'd like to recognise Lorna Carter, Liz Hind, Annabelle Grimmer, Robin Riley, Sarah Grimmer, Rhonda Applebell, Penny Fitt, Veronica Griffin, and Gemma Draper for all hitting elite in August. Well done, guys. Elite's the building block of the business, so hitting that rank can often be quite daunting. And we had 4 premiers. So we'd like to recognise Neil Young, Tim Evans, Adele Wimsett, Rebecca and Steve Gilbert for getting to premier in August. I'd also like to point out that there were 3 of them, Neil, Tim, Rebecca and Steve, who got to premier in their very first month. So congratulations, that's an amazing achievement. Well done, guys. And well done, Adele, for getting to premier. That's that's the second building block to everything in doTERRA, and can be almost one of the hardest ranks to achieve. So
yeah, you have to have more strategy, don't you, getting to premier? So it's brilliant.
It's not an accident getting to premier. No. So well done. We'd like to recognise Gus Grimmer for hitting silver in August. Well done, Gus. Really, really well done. It would be awesome if doTERRA sent you a silver necklace or something. Unfortunately, don't expect that.
They get a certificate.
We've tested the gift that they give you, and it's not silver.
No.
But congratulations, Gus. Well done. We'd also like to recognise Andy and Sue Boswell for getting to gold in their very first month in doTERRA.
Woohoo!
That is the first time that's been done in Europe. So well done.
Very impressive.
I'm not even sure who's done it in the world.
In August.
In August as well. So
yeah.
Well done, guys. It's really, really amazing. And then we'd also like to recognise Rochelle Hubbard, who most of you will know, but Rochelle has been doing the business for over a year now, and she's hit diamond in August as well. I don't know why she chose August to go diamond again, but well done, Rochelle.
She likes a challenge.
Yeah. And we don't want to leave Josh out, because Josh has, he's been in the background. So well done, Josh. Well done, guys, for all of your hard work. We'd like to recognise the top enrollers as well, so you can see some of the similar names. So sometimes, often when you're trying to hit a rank, you need to be enrolling to help yourself get there, and you can see that by the few people that are in there. Same people that have ranked, that have gone in the top enrollers. So we'd like to congratulate Neil Young for getting 8 enrolments, Ali Taylor for getting 9, Vanessa Woosley for getting 9, Debbie Lawrence for getting 10, Jackie Berry for getting 11. Jackie was at the boot camp as well. It was lovely to meet Jackie. That was her very first doTERRA event, so lovely to meet you, Jackie. Andy Boswell
and Sue.
Sue
should definitely be on there because Sue was doing all the classes, so fighting your corner, Sue.
Sue, I'm really sorry that is an error. Claire Bradbury with 13 and Rochelle Hubbard with 14. Well done, guys, for all of your hard work and enrolling in August. At convention, we were told how many diamonds, blue diamonds, presidential diamonds there were in the world. So we just thought we'd give this to you, and how many, we get asked it all the time, how many are there in UK, how many in Europe, how many in the world. Some of you will be going for UK founder, so it's of interest to you as to how many diamonds there are. So in terms of in diamonds in the world, there's 452 diamonds in the world. For Europe, there are 15 diamonds. For the UK, there are 5 diamonds, okay? Now, that's 5 diamonds. 3 of them have hit it once, okay? And they're probably going to hit it again in the next few months or this month or whatever, but 3 of them have only hit it once. 2 of them have solid diamonds.
Can I just say something on that?
Yes.
That's really inspiring, and that's one of the things that, always inspires me when I go to convention, when you see all these diamonds and they're walking across the stage, and there's so many of them, and all different types of people, and diamond, when you first hit diamond, you're expecting to receive about £6,000 a month. So it's, a very good rank to reach. And as you can see, 452 other people have done it. So it's definitely doable. And I just think that's really inspiring, really achievable.
Yes. And then blue diamonds, there's 105 in the world. There's 4 in Europe and there's 1 in the UK. Presidential diamonds, there's 45 in the world. That's presidential diamonds and above. So double blues, double presidential, double dipper, whatever they all are. I can't keep up now. But that's all of the presidential diamonds and above. In the world, there's 45 of them. We have no presidential diamonds in Europe. We have none in the UK yet. So keep going, guys. It's hopefully one of our teams going to be the first presidentials. Over to you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks so much. So we had there was a couple of us who were on this call tonight that went to convention. So we've asked them to share a part of this presentation as well. So first of all, Melanie, if you can just unmute yourself. Surprise. So just first of all, share the essential oil testimonial. Well, I know it wasn't on for yourself, but it was for one of your team members, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. So one of my builders is a lady called Lindsay, and she's a kinesiologist over here. I'm in California, and she's been using the oils for a long time with her clients. And this one client came in, and after the convention, Lindsay used, how do you say that? Copaiba, I think. Okay. So she used that along with frankincense. Prior to that, she'd been using deep blue and frankincense, but she bought the kit at the convention which had this oil in, and her client has a chronic issue with her shoulder and her upper pectoral areas. So she used this oil while she was doing her treatment, and her client said that it was the best feeling, the best release type feeling that she'd ever had. So that was quite a testimonial, because this lady has been going to Lindsay for a long time.
Copaiba is specifically for the nerves. Well, one of the things it does, it's really good for the nerves, easing nerve pain.
Mm-hmm. So after Mel told me that, our Sophia, so she's 8, she sprained her ankle on holiday, but then re-sprained it quite badly this last week. So I was putting copaiba and frankincense on her ankle, and that's really helped with her recovery as well, rather than the deep blue. I'd always used the deep blue before, but I decided to use these 2 instead. And, you know, a couple of days later, she was fine. It was a really bad sprain as well. So I'm looking forward to learning more about this oil. We're not going to go into it in too much detail tonight. In fact, we're not going to introduce the new products tonight because we're not getting these new products till May. And I know lots of you are going to be going to the summits, but we will take some of these products throughout, you know, before May and introduce them to you guys and help you know what's coming and what they're going to be used for. But as Nate said, nerve damage and pain and inflammation, it would seem. But there'll be many other things as well. It's linked to the marijuana plant. So we're really excited.
It's supposed to have better effects than CBD oil, and it doesn't have the hallucinogen, which is, isn't that the point of the CBD oil? I think it is. But anyway.
Okay. So over to, thanks Mel for that, over to Erin, who's going to tell us about Arbor Vitae, and she got up close and personal with it, didn't you?
But why? Why did she get personal?
Well, why?
Because
she won. So well.
Because she won the trip.
She won the incentive trip.
Well, she won it. Jared, where are you? Jared and Jen.
Jared shouldered it, so there he is. Cool. So over to you guys. We'll mute ourselves.
Guys, can you see me? You can. Okay. So now I'm sufficiently embarrassed. Thank you. We had the opportunity to go to Canada and learn about the Arbor Vitae oil, and it was an amazing experience. So I just wanted to share a few things that we learned while we were there. So there are a couple of names for the Arbor Vitae tree or oil. It's a cedar tree, and it's the biggest of the cypress trees, so it can grow up to 100 to 200 feet tall. So really amazing trees, and it's amazing to be in that environment as well. And the smell that you get just from being in the forest is pretty amazing. But they live in it's the Pacific Northwest, so it's a really humid rainforest type environment, and it's the perfect environment for microbes and insects. So the tree has had to develop its own defense mechanism in order to survive in that environment. So it's really good at protecting itself against microbes and organisms and insects. So yeah, it was amazing to go and walk around and see them in their natural habitat. Something we also learned as well was that they can live for up to 800 to 1,000 years old. And even when a tree's been felled, it can just lie on the ground and the wood can be preserved in its environment. It doesn't rot, it doesn't decay for a few hundred years later. So it really has those wood preserving properties as well. It's quite astonishing. And I think another interesting fact that they said that the oldest tree discovered was 1,653 years old when it died. So they really have the gift of longevity. So that was lovely to see. So can you just flip the next slide, please? So we went, we went to learn about how they were distilled. And something that's really interesting about the whole sourcing of the Arbor Vitae oil is that no extra trees are cut down for the use of the oil. And they use all raw materials from the timber industry, which is located further down the Fraser River, and they have the sawdust transported up the river, and it's put through it's moved by tractor, and it's put through these machinery that takes it up really high, and then the steam is injected into it, and the oil is extracted off. So it's part of a really sustainable sourcing process, and no tree is cut down, like I said, for the use of essential oils. What else have we got? So the sourcing is sustainable and responsible. You can see Jared there loving the oil. And it's the only distillery in the world of Arbor Vitae oil, and they source doTERRA. So doTERRA is the only essential oil company that you can get Arbor Vitae oil from. It takes several hours to distill a batch of oil, and they do about 2 batches in a day, and it's not very high yielding oil, so they only get 0.3% of the oil from the raw material, which is why it reflects in its price. And I think they said there was going to be a display at convention, but I didn't get around to seeing it, where they were going to display 4 kilograms of the raw material, the sawdust, and that makes up 1 5ml bottle. So it's a really, really precious oil, and they can manage to get about 95% extracted from the materials. And then what's amazing then is that they then send that material on to the paper and the cardboard mills. So you don't actually, it's just another added bit in the process. So it's a really effective and sustainable way to use the materials. So it's all utilised. Okay, so some of the uses. When you find out these uses, if we wanted to plug it back like Jared there, it literally looks like pure gold, liquid gold. The smell is amazing. It has a similar scent to cedarwood, but it has a high ester content. So that's really unusual for any of the tree oils. So that's what you can get with Arbor Vitae. It's popular with men, and you can even make your own cologne. So #Broterra. And some of the research that's been done on Arbor Vitae oil is that it's been researched against in the use of MRSA. It's been researched by the National Cancer Institute, and the guy that was talking to us said that it has compounds that are useful for balding as well. So I think there's a doctor nearby that's prescribing that to patients. But doTERRA actually funded the first study on the Arbor Vitae oil itself. And they found the way to study what the biological activity was within human cells. It showed that the oil was highly active, and that it supports healthy inflammatory response, and that it also influences tissue remodeling processes. So it's great in healing and great for the skin. So some of the ways that you can use Arbor Vitae oil, it's obviously great as an insect repellent because it has that natural quality within its own environment. It's great for preserving wood, so you can use it to treat your furniture, to clean your furniture. It's wonderful for the air, so it's really purifying against microbes and seasonal threats, and it has a really grounding and calming aroma as well, so great for the use within Pilates and with yoga. Okay, next one please. So after all of that information that we received, this was my favourite part. We got to spend some time with this gentleman here, and he is an Aboriginal First Nation, and the way that he spoke about the Arbor Vitae tree, so when it's translated it means the tree of life, and it really is absolutely everything to them. They use every single part of that tree for their clothing, for their shelter, for their health and well-being. So I just listed a few of the things there that they use it for. And I love the bit where it says, so the boughs, the branches of the trees with the needles on, the pine needles, they use them to brush away illness and sadness. So the women actually bathe, they have them in their bath, and they bathe in them because they have such wonderful healing properties. He had such a deep respect and reverence for the tree, and was so amazed and in awe about how we were using the essential oil, and that we were benefiting from all of those properties that they've known for thousands of years. It's been a real part of them and their life. He's actually wearing a hat there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's made from the bark of the tree, and it's quite amazing. It's meshed, it's woven together, and there are little holes in it. And he was explaining that in the summer, when he's canoeing down the river, he has his hat on, and it protects him from the heat of the sun. But obviously they live in a rainforest, and when it rains, the bark closes up. So the holes are closed, and it means that he's then protected from the rain all day long while he's there on his canoe. So it's just woven into every fibre of their life. And I was really struck by how he had such love for this tree and such respect. Something that really spoke out to me when I was learning about how it's co-impact sourcing, and we know about the source to you from the seed to us, and that doTERRA is a relationships business, but it's also about a relationship with the plant, a relationship with the people that grow the products, grow the plants, and how important that is, and cherishing and nurturing that. So that was the highlight for me, those few little bits from the sourcing trip.
Thank you so much, Erin. That's wonderful.
Quick, but yeah, I don't want to take too long.
No, that was perfect. That was perfect. You know, well done for winning that trip, really, because that's hard to win. But yeah, I love that, and hearing what you're saying, Erin, about, you know, how doTERRA do. They really respect the local traditions, and they do that with all of the oils they source. And they actually go and they find out what these traditions are and work with the local people and make sure that everything's kept intact and they're respecting these plants. But it's incredible seeing how much actually raw material, and I you know, you get it all the time with a lot of the essential oils that doTERRA source. You know, you need a lot of raw material to get the oil out, which is why they are more expensive, and why when you're purchasing oils in the shops for just small amounts, you know that they're not 100% pure, because it's just impossible to get that amount of oil for that price. So thank you very much. That's great. Okay, so I'm just going to talk for a little bit now, and then we'll have Jared and Melanie joining in a bit later as well. So one of the things, that new products that was introduced is the On Guard spray that have now produced to be able to spray, you know, and clean kitchen surfaces with, clean your hands as a hand sanitizer. So it's really quite cool and nifty. And Jennifer Eddins, who is a microbiology specialist, she spoke about this and how they did experiments to compare the effectiveness of On Guard against Melaleuca, so tea tree, doTERRA's Melaleuca. And they found that it was actually 26% better, because Melaleuca can also kill microbes as well, but they found the On Guard spray to be more effective at killing microorganisms on the surface of your hands and on kitchen surfaces and things like that. So I thought that was really interesting. And what she recommended to do was to actually spray the On Guard spray onto the surface and not to wipe it away immediately, which is what I normally do, but actually to leave it there. I know. So to leave it there for a few minutes and allow the oil to then kill the microorganisms, and then you can wipe it down after a few minutes.
I told you my way was always effective. Just spray it and leave it.
Forget about it.
Yeah. Way
Not do it. You know, you do have to do it.
Natural to me. Comes naturally.
So anyway, I thought I'd do a recipe, because you're not going to be able to buy this product till May next year. So you can make your own. I mean, I've always had just a glass bottle from Amazon, actually, and I just fill it up with water, and I put about 20 drops of the On Guard oil into this glass bottle. Remember not to use a plastic bottle, because
the petrochemicals leach into the oil.
Yeah, good.
Yes.
Yeah. So it must be a glass bottle, and just spray your kitchen surface. You can, I also found this is quite a common cleaning recipe as well. You can also add some vinegar to it as well if you want to have some extra cleaning going on, and if you don't mind the smell of vinegar. So you can make it yourself until you can buy it. Now, something that I was really excited about is, we've been hearing about this for a while now, that doTERRA really want to bring Western and Eastern medication together. So they don't want essential oils to be completely separate to Western medication. You know, doTERRA have always taught that we need both. There's a place for Western medication. We never say that you just need essential oils. So what their vision is to, first of all, you know, that they start in America, don't they, and then they'll go worldwide, but to change the healthcare system, first of all, in America, and then across the world. And the healthcare system in America is just is not very, very good. It's very expensive. There's lots of flaws in it, doTERRA were showing. And the way that people are using medications, overly using medications, and still the life expectancy is really quite low. So what they have done, and this is what their dream's been for a while, is to bring together doctors, as it says here, nutritionists and wellness coaches, and also essential oil experts, so to bring them all together and have clinics dotted around the country where people can go and get affordable healthcare advice, and also get things given to them, I think. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work, but certainly get advice. Did you want to say anything?
Yeah, I was going to say that they're not selling essential oils.
No, you're right. They're not selling. I remember that now. Yeah, so they're not going to sell essential oils. They're literally there to give advice to people.
Because we sell essential oils.
Because we sell, yeah, that'll take our business.
Yeah, exactly.
business head.
That's the first thing I thought.
Yeah, first thing. Whew, for you. So we've still got a business.
Yeah.
Still worth building a business in doTERRA. That's good news. But we will have all this support. And the good news for us, because you could be thinking, well, that's in America, great for them. Well, Melanie's happy, she's smiling away. The first one that's going to be built is in Pleasant Grove, which is where their head offices are. And that's going to be built early 2018. That will be available, first of all, to the employees in the headquarters of doTERRA. So they'll be trialing it with them. And then very quickly, they're going to open it up after they've probably smoothed out all the mistakes or whatever, made it more efficient. They'll provide it to all the wellness advocates and then to everybody. And there's going to be many locations around the US, and I know one of them is California, so Melanie's definitely happy. And then they will, their vision is to spread around the world eventually, but it will definitely start in America first. But how this will really affect us, I mean, it's great just to be able to tell people that, as a first thing, but also they're going to have a telehealth system where they're going to have these doctors and these healthcare practitioners and essential wellness experts who are going to be available to us 24/7 on the phone. So that's how we in Europe can really tap into that. And that is so exciting because, often, I don't know about you, you do feel like you're kind of sometimes a little bit blind, don't you? And you're trying to find out for yourself. And sometimes it's very much a trial and error. But to be able to talk to people and also to be able to send people who come to your classes that have particular, elements that are perhaps a bit more tricky and complex, it's just a great support to be able to tell someone, isn't it? And again, gives doTERRA more credibility. So I think this is very exciting. You can
better than product support.
Yeah, product support. It's great for certain things, but we don't really recommend. I mean, give it a go. Give it a go. You might get the generic answer. But telehealth, I'm sure, will be a lot better. So yeah, we're very excited to have that support. At the moment, we use the books and the app, but to have that support will be incredible. So if you want to look it up in more detail, which I strongly suggest you do, go to healthcare.doterra.com. But in 2018, we'll have more information on that. But just to give you kind of a little heads up of what is coming. This slide wasn't quite finished.
Oh.
This slide, I think, was supposed to be deleted. But anyways, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that doTERRA is actually trebling the size of their campus because it's growing so rapidly, and so they've now put in another centre on the other side, and they've built in for more employees. I think 900 more employees for the centre there, and then they're more than doubling their distribution space in Utah, and they're opening this wellness clinic on the centre. They're also opening in the US. They're opening different distribution centres around the US because they have I think it's a 1.4 average delivery. So one day, 1.4 days on average it takes to deliver a parcel in the US. They're looking to get it to 1.2. Amazon is 1, so they're looking to do very well, and hopefully they'll be, over time they're going to move that across all the world and make it better. Although our delivery is pretty good, so we can't complain about our delivery.
It is. So they're growing quite dramatically, but also that reminds me, in England, you may or may not be aware, there's going to be a new head office in England in Milton Keynes. So at the moment it's in Huntingdon. It's kind of out there. It's a tiny office that you wouldn't really ever want to go and visit. Mm-hmm. But Milton Keynes, they're now going to do a nice big office that you can kind of go and visit as well and get to know the staff there if you're passing by. It's going to be a very open.
They're going to have some rooms there as well that if you want to, you can go and use for meetings and things like that. So that's really cool.
Yeah. So once that's all moved in, we'll let you know. So this slide that was going to be deleted, we're going to talk about this probably another day, but just a little bit of insight is we heard from the Aromatic Plant Group at convention as well. Now this is an organisation that's got different experts in the group. There's doctors in the group, there's essential oil experts in the group, and these people are in charge of doing testing and to make sure that oils have not been adulterated. And this is one of the big companies that doTERRA are now going to be using moving forward to help with the testing of their oils. But we'll be telling you more about them in the future. 30
minutes was definitely ambitious.
Yeah, well, 30 minutes is definitely going to be, so from now on, it's going to be 30 minutes. But today, it's a bit different because it's a summary of convention. So squeezing into 30 minutes is a little bit ambitious. But there will be 30 minutes from now on. Dr. Brian Lawrence is one of the guys that's leading this APR group. I just wanted to focus on what he said. He spoke at convention, and he said over 50 years of essential oil experience. He's written many books on essential oils and research papers. So he knows what he's talking about, and he's from the UK, which I think is definitely more intelligent, isn't he? He's from the UK. So he talked about the 4 main types of adulteration that you can commonly find in oils. And the first one is that they're diluted. You know, so when you're talking to people and they ask you, well, how are other oils adulterated? These are the 4 main ways, simple ways to adulterate your oil if you're looking to adulterate them, is to dilute it. Addition of other oils, you know, obviously cheaper oils. Addition of synthetic versions of oils. This is a big one. So people synthesize their own oils. They're not the true oils. They're synthesized, they're man-made, and they put them into them. Or they use fractions of other oils and add them into the oil. So whatever way, any which way, adulteration basically means the oil is not in its pure form, and that's obviously going to change the chemical effects of the oil and benefits. So I'm just going to share a little bit about Dr. Hill. Just going to summarize a little bit about his presentation. As we said, Becky has recorded it, the full version, on the essential gifts of the earth. So please go and watch. This is one of the ones to watch, I would say. He always has some really good stuff to say. And I think it's important to have a basic understanding of the chemistry. You know, don't worry if you don't get it all. Just have a basic understanding is good. And the longer you hear, you're in doTERRA, and the more you hear it, the more it will click. So he says that there's 2 main things that make essential oils so effective. And it's because they are indeed lipid soluble, which means that they can easily penetrate through barriers in our body. And this could be the cell barrier, so our individual cell barrier, our blood-brain barrier. There's many barriers in our body, but because essential oils are lipid soluble, they can actually pass through these barriers. And then the second property is that they have such a small molecular size and weight. So this basically improves the efficiency of that process. So they can move through these barriers really quite quickly and effectively because of their size as well. So I put here, they are not mysterious, they are chemistry. So Nathan used to say they work like magic. Oh, that was a Zyto machine.
That was a Zyto
machine. They're not magic. They can sometimes feel like magic, but there is actual chemistry that really is why these essential oils do what they do.
I said they were placebo.
Placebo. And Dr. Hill said there was a guy that came into his office and said, we all know essential oils are just placebo. You can imagine what Dr. Hill said. So they're not placebo. I mean, of course, there's an element of placebo with everything we use, but there is actual chemistry that shows why they do what they do.
You have to convince me. I understand.
So Dr. Hill introduced this basic essential oil chemistry chart, which is here, Nate. Have a look.
Oh, basic.
Yeah, basic. So I'm just going to show you really briefly about this. And you can find it, so here it is. You can find it on doTERRA Science. If you go to doTERRA.com and go onto the science blog,
Do we have a link?
You can download it. It's just doTERRA.com. So
Okay.
go to doTERRA.com and click on the science blog. And then I just typed in doTERRA chemistry chart, and this came up. So you can find it easily. If I can find it, you can definitely find it. I'm rubbish at finding things. So it has 2 parts. It has that part and then this part here. Oops, there we go. So it's basically telling you the components of essential oils. The main 2 components that are in essential oils, and you'll hear them. And I'm just going to summarize it, but please don't worry if it goes over your head, because you will hear this more and more. And you don't need to understand this to be able to sell essential oils. But I think it's just nice to kind of have a basic understanding. So you have monoterpenes here. So these are the monoterpenes. Now, every essential oil has different amounts of different chemicals in them. But these are the ones, the essential oils on this chart are the ones that have mostly monoterpenes. And monoterpenes basically are just smaller sized. So they're very quickly absorbed. So they're very fast acting. So they're the essential oils that you'll feel a real quick response to. So say peppermint and other things. Sesquiterpenes, these ones here, they're larger molecules, so they're longer lasting. So they'll last a long time. and they also have a wider chemistry, so they affect many things. So some essential oils will have a multiple effects, where other essential oils are more specific. So that's all I'm going to kind of go into today. So we'll have science explanation webinars in the future, but I'm not going to go into that in too much detail. But just go onto the doTERRA science blog when you're ready to kind of learn that kind of stuff, and it explains it and how you can use that wheel to then work out if one oil doesn't work, you know, what's the next one in that family that would have that effect. So that's how it kind of helps to empower
Frankincense.
us. Frankincense. If in doubt, use frankincense. To make it really simple. Okay, so next one. So the other thing is essential oils are biologically active. So basically, in the very simplistic term, it means that when our bodies are compromised, so when we're sick, essential oils will do the healing, which is great. So it's not dependent. They're not dependent on our body for them to work. So that's why they're so effective. They just go in, they target cells, and they do the healing. Now, Dr. Hill did remind us that, you know, we don't want to just use them when we're ill. There are many ways we can use essential oils, and also as preventatives. And I know Jared's going to share Dr. Hill's daily routine in a second. And then just something interesting, Dr. Hill mentioned that to get the best effects for sleep, he suggested using the Serenity capsules and the Serenity oil together. And I'd never known that. You know that?
Yes,
Yeah.
I definitely knew that.
And he also said to use the citrus oils for toxicity daily. So any citrus oil is a good one to use daily to get rid of toxins in our body, because it's when the toxins in our body build up is when we get sick. So when we're teaching people, you know, we do the Family Essentials kit. Lemon is definitely something we want to teach in that kit that people should take every single day, and we should take every single day as well to keep our body from being toxic. Now, if you want to, you know any of these things and learn more about what Dr. Hill suggests and all his advice, and he gives some really good tips, then go to YouTube and just type in Ask Dr. Hill. You can find some snippets and videos there, really good videos, and also Dr. Hill Facebook. So just go into Facebook and type Dr. Hill doTERRA, and you can join his Facebook page. So that's some good resources for you. Okay, so over to Jared just to show us Dr. Hill's daily routine.
Okay, thank you. When I got to this part of the convention, I was worried that I'd be overwhelmed by the science, and this is obviously Erin's great love and passion, and she understands it. I was worried I wouldn't get it, and so it's great to hear Dr. Hill just lay it out really simply, so that a really simpleton like me could get it and tell someone else as well. So this is a week of first for me. Erin's been the one driving our business with enrollments, but I had my first enrollment myself and my first time presenting, so hope I'll be okay. So as you see here, the doTERRA's Wellness Pyramid, this isn't quite up to date. I don't have the current one which they showed at convention. The top blue section of that Wellness Pyramid is now called doTERRA Healthcare. And so they explain that obviously we are, as a company, helping people to live healthy lives, and all the products that they sell now can help us to not have to go to the doctor or the hospital or the NHS on a frequent basis, so we can actually use these products to in our daily lives. So Becky just spoke about Dr. Hill's how he broke it down into eating right and to using other products in addition to LLB. But I like the daily routine that I thought that I could actually use in a class. I can help people as they enroll. We can use them to use his products to get onto LRP as well. So he broke it into 4 sections of the day. So morning, afternoon, evening, and bedtime. So he said on the morning that we should look to apply balance, which is 2 to 3 drops of balance to the bottom of our feet when we wake up. And then to use frankincense under our tongue if you don't like the taste of that, or in the water, or use the veggie capsules. And then he said to take 1 PB assist with our breakfast, and to use the LLV and Terrazyme in the morning. So the LLV, you know, is really good for minerals and vitamins, but the PB assist and the Terrazyme is helpful for our gut. And he says a strong link between a healthy gut and a healthy mind. So that was really informative for me. I didn't realise there's a massive difference between the two. And then he said in the afternoon that we should diffuse or apply your favourite oil for mood management. for me, that's cheer. I really love that. I have it on my bracelet. I feel at work. It's a really good oil for me. And at work, everyone just, when I'm at work, they always ask, what am I wearing? So it's just a great way to incorporate into conversation, invite people to come to a class. Then you should set your first LLV of the day.
Can I just say, Jared, can I just tell everyone what you do as a profession?
Yeah,
because that adds more to it, the fact you're wearing cheer as a police officer. Carry on.
Right. So my job at the moment is a bit more desk space and out on the street. So I've got my oils out, and they always say, "What are you doing?" So it's just a great way to seed and to get out there. But I'm able to sort of work out an awkward way to bring into conversation. So,
so it's not the criminals then that are asking you what you're wearing. You're arresting them. Okay.
No. Okay, so after you diffuse, you apply your favourite oil. You take LLV and the Terrazyme with your afternoon meal, and then to use a citrus oil in your water throughout the day. So as Becky said, the citrus oil is really great at reducing our toxic load, especially in our liver. And then in the evening, to take LLV again with the Terrazyme with our dinner, and to diffuse On Guard or take one of the capsules. And then finally, I know we're running out of time, so in our bedtime, we said to diffuse your favourite oil for relaxation, take 2 Serenity soft gels and apply Serenity or cedarwood. And for me, I love cedarwood, I love arborvitae, and so I find that quite a really helpful way for me to get to sleep. Especially as a shift worker, I really struggle with sleep. So from time to time, I always feel like I'm walked off a plane, and these things help me just to feel much more relaxed. So I'm looking forward to, as we put this into our life, and then to hopefully build it into our classes. So I think it's a great way to get people onto LRP. They can see actually you're breaking it down. What do I need to buy? What can I actually use on a practical, regular basis that perhaps isn't always in a kit, or if they use it on a daily basis, the more to come back and to buy it again as well. So that's my little bit.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Jared. That is really helpful for LRP and when you're giving wellness consultations to tell people. So just before we do the healing hands, Melanie, could you just give us a little summary of David Sterling's talk, please?
Yeah, well, everyone who's listening will be happy to know that Rebecca and Nathan covered almost 100%. Yeah, it's perfect. I love it.
Are you sure? Are you sure that you didn't prepare anything, did you?
Oh, everything is here. Everything is here.
Sorry.
Stole your thunder.
Hey, I love it. I love it. So, and the whole point, the point for me in picking David Sterling's talk or address to tell you about was the emphasis on the growth of doTERRA in the last 9 years, because it's been huge. It's been absolutely massive. And as Nathan and Rebecca said, there's big changes that are happening, and it's all because of the volume. He was blown away by the number of orders in July being 1 million. And he said that he remembered being blown away by 25,000 orders happening 1 month ages ago. Yeah, he didn't give the date of when that one was, but it's just massive growth, which is fantastic. He quoted Forbes as having listed doTERRA as one of the top mid-level employees in the USA. doTERRA is a leader in the essential oil $7.5 billion industry, and it's achieved that in 9 years. I mean, huge growth. And then he went on to say, and he mentioned this a couple of times, and this was the thing that really struck home to me, was that doTERRA is taking out the man in the middle. And it's actually quite an emotive thing for me. I feel a bit like Emily Wright, because whenever I see her speak, it's almost as if she's always on the edge of crying. And when he said that to me, it really struck a chord. And I thought, here is a product that, from my research, is based on integrity. The company doTERRA, I did a lot of research on doTERRA before I became a wellness advocate, and it seems as if everything that they do is as they say they do. I haven't found anything to contradict that. And the fact that doTERRA works directly with the farmers, with the sourcing, there isn't anybody in between, no one's being paid off, the money is going directly to the individuals who are doing the work, who are doing the labor. And that's the same with us as well. Although we're not, as wellness advocates, direct employees of doTERRA, there's one, it's kind of like there's one jump between us and corporates. You know, there aren't several layers of management that we have to go through in order to get paid. We do the work, we enroll people, we get the remuneration, but it's not all about the money. I mean, money's important. I love money, you know, I love shopping, but it's more about the actual product. The product comes directly to us. We get to, or it goes directly to the people that we're enrolling, and we explain to them what's going on with the products, how the products can help them, how their body can heal themselves by incorporating these products into their lives. And that's really quite phenomenal to me. David Sterling ended by quoting a lady called Margaret Mead, who I'd never heard of before, but I looked her up, and she seems like she was quite a powerful philanthropist and anthropologist in the 60s and 70s. And she said, "Never believe that a few caring people can't change the world, for indeed that's all who ever have." And that struck home to me as well, that doTERRA started off as just a handful of people. At their first meeting, there were 15 people, and 6 of those were the spouses of the people. So there really were just literally a handful of people, and from there it's grown to the level that it's at now, being, as I said earlier, a leader in a $7.5 billion industry. I mean, that's huge expansion, and all it takes is a regular person. I'm as regular as it comes, and it's just by doing the regular things that Bex and Nathan talk about all the time that has these wonderful products get into the lives of people. And yeah, that's what I got from David Sterling.
Thanks, Mel. Thank you. That was brilliant. That's really brilliant. And that, you know, that does bring us nicely into the next subject of healing hands, because, you know, they really are. And this is why we really highly recommend, as much as possible, you can go to corporate events, you can try and meet these executives, because then you start to not take it from us, but you actually get to feel it from them, that they really are, you know, that is their motive, that is where they stand, and what their main mission is to help others, obviously make money as well. They need to make money. And also, just as Mel was talking, you know, about having a handful of people at the beginning, you know, it's so inspiring. But also, if you look at your business, you know, look at where it is now. If you're just starting, then, you know, it just feels like it's just you going out doing these classes, and, you know, you're not getting so much return. But take it from us that, you know, very soon it does just start to snowball, and everyone grows at different rates, and that's absolutely okay. But do just keep going. And once you find those key people in your team that are going to join this journey with you, it just starts like growing. And, you know, and for us now, I think, how many do we have on our team now?
4 million?
4 million.
No, 4,000.
4,000.
302.
Yeah, and it's just incredible. And it just grows daily now. I mean, not, you know, always face to face with those people, mostly not. So it's just by small things, just by doing things every day, that you'll get there. And it's an incredible company to be part of. Okay, just 1 minute to this, isn't it?
Yeah, just quickly, just wanted to just bring your attention a couple of the Healing Hands projects, the new ones that doTERRA are doing, so you can just see what you're a part of. In Bulgaria, because some of the oils in Europe are coming from Bulgaria. They're doing really good stuff in doTERRA. In Bulgaria with the distillery called Esoterra, and they do different oils there, Melissa, lavender, and a few others. And they've got a social enterprise there called the Social Tea House, and this is dedicated to creating equal opportunities and the development of an independent lifestyle for children in Bulgaria, because when they age out, they're out of the orphanage system, and they've got no support. So this is support for those people, for those children in Bulgaria. If you want to look at more of this stuff, it's all on Healing Hands, doTERRA. If you type in Healing Hands or doTERRA, or on doTERRA's website, Healing Hands, you'll see all this stuff. There's lots more to it, lots more projects, and there's lots more information out there. They've started a project in Kenya with one of the farms that they source oils from, and this is a primary school in one of the villages, and it's bringing support to the community. And they've also provided clean water as well, which was the beginning start of it. One of the ones that touched me the most was that they've started a project in Somaliland and this project is an education facility for 220 youth. The cool thing about this is what doTERRA said was that they're also changing the cultural issues. So one of the cultural issues in Somaliland is that the women are not allowed to be educated. Okay, I'm not going to make any jokes about that, but the women aren't allowed to be educated, which is terrible. But what David Sterling and the guy said, look, if we're going to provide a school, you have to provide education for females just as much as you have to with the males, so it was equal. And they said, okay. So the school has equal women, so females and males, which is just amazing that they're able to do that, change a history of culture. And that really excited me that doTERRA are actually making a stance in these countries as well. So Rebecca's going to Kenya next week, so she's starting with another lady. There's a charity lady in the UK, and a couple of the UK leaders are going to Kenya next week to begin their Healing Hands project, which is why she joined doTERRA. So it's very exciting for her. She's so excited about it. So I just wanted to tell you that she's wish her luck and wish me luck that she comes home alive.
I'll give you a report when I get back.
Yeah.
We won't take any more time tonight. So we'll just answer the questions.
So that's it, everybody. I'm going to end the recording now. So if some of you want to go, then go. But if any of you want to ask questions, we'll answer the questions as we go through here. If you want to come on the chat, then please do. See you, everybody. Thank you for coming.
Lovely seeing you all. And have a lovely week sharing the oils. Yeah.
Okay, so let's have a look at the chat.
So we will be putting on the Silver Blossom the schedule for all the next team calls and all the topics and everything. So we've just got one that needs to be finalised, and then we'll put them out. And they will be half an hour normally, because we're just going to have little topics. And they're usually more business focused. Sometimes we'll always have like an oil experience each time as well.
I've got to be told here that Tonya said that Sarah Williams and her team had 13 enrolments in August as well.
Oh, wow.
Well done, Tonya. I'm not sure why that wasn't showing on my back office. Apologies, Sarah. I'm not sure why that wasn't.
Sarah.
Well done.
Yeah, so I just thought I mentioned it because my mom was mentioned, and so I don't quite understand why Sarah was not coming up, because Sarah is actually under my mom.
That's weird.
I will have a look at that offline, Tonya. I'm not sure what's gone on there. Maybe it's gone.
Okay.
Systems put it as your mum and not Sarah, so that's why. Well, at least we got to the bottom of it. Sorry, Sarah, but it was you.
So, and Tonya also asked why this link isn't available. It's on the Silver Blossom. So have you added everyone on your team to the Silver Blossom Facebook page, Tonya?
No, I have some I have added, but some I don't know if they are in or not. And I just sent the link via Messenger, which I thought would work, but obviously it's not. So I got to add them in the group then.
If you add them in the group, it will tell you whether they're in the group or not.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And then you can just send them a reminder email then.
Yeah.
That's right, you know.
Cool.
Okay, thank you guys.
And your Modern Essentials is on its way, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Brilliant.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Shyla said there's a good short video by David Hill on Kabaiba that Vanessa posted on the WhatsApp group or on their group. Shyla, would you mind posting that onto the Silver Blossom page? Because we're not sure what that video is.
Yeah, that would be Vanessa's personal team group. So yeah, if you could put it on the Silver Blossom, that'd be amazing.
Robin says that.
Yeah.
Sarah's asked, are clinics offering advice only for oils or other natural therapies too?
I'm assuming other natural therapies too, and medicinal, because they've got doctors on there as well. So I'm not entirely sure. I don't know all the details yet. But as soon as we have more details, we'll let you know.
We're not sure when the telehealth's going to be available, if even in the US. So I'd imagine it'd be a couple of years.
Yeah.
So.
Do you think a couple of years?
Definitely, but maybe they'll advance it, but I think so. It was only if we've been waiting for the On-Guard study for like flipping 2 years, haven't we? So.
I imagine, Kirsten, hey Kirst, Again, we don't know all the details of this, but like with the clinics, they're having a mix of doctors and nutritionists and essential oil experts. I'm assuming it'll be the same with the telehealth as well. Within the, you might call someone and they might be the essential oil expert, but I'm sure there'll be other people there that they could refer you to for different things. I imagine. That's what I'm imagining. I don't see why it would be any different to the health clinics. Something to add to that. That's what I would guess, but I can let you know. For the chemistry of the oils, I've got it upstairs. Again, have a quick look. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, I'll go and get it quickly.
It's okay. I found it. It's on. Somebody's answered it on there, so it's great.
Perfect. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Essential Oils Unlocked. Brilliant. That's the one. Thanks, Shona. Yeah, it's a really good book. If you want to know about the chemistry of the oils, it's quite sciencey, but I love it. It kind of breaks down all the chemical compositions of the oils. So that's brilliant. You can get it off Amazon.
Sandra, did you say that you have the spellings of those two things?
Go down.
Yes, it came up straight afterwards, after my.
Perfect.
Somebody picked it up. Thank you.
Yes, it is with Hannah. Yeah, I'm going with Hannah Ellis. She's been working with this charity in Kenya for 15 years, but I'll tell you more about it. I'll give her a report when I come back. Thanks, Tonya. Yeah, no, definitely. Go. Sorry, it was quite a long one.
David signed up yesterday. Hi, David.
Hey, David. This way might work. Oh,
It's very nice of you.
That's really nice. Yeah, that's an excellent
good idea as well.
Excellent idea. Sometimes
you've got the doTERRA culture already, David.
Yeah. And the entrepreneurial spirit.
All you need to do is add, because I won't be able to add them.
Yeah, we won't have.
I'm not sure what Shocks. I'm not how you say your name. Sorry, Shocks. If you go onto Silver Blossom yourself and add them to it, you'll be able to do it, because if I'm not friends with them, so I won't be able to add them. Won't recognise it really, but you are able to do that yourself. If not, send me an email with their addresses, and I'll happily do it if you can't do that.
Sorry, what is the Silver Blossom page again, Nath?
It's the Facebook group it's the business Facebook group.
Okay.
Rebecca and my.
Have I not added you, Kirsten? If not,
no, I've just done it myself now.
Brilliant.
Rebecca.
I didn't mean to get you in trouble, Bex.
Yeah, that's fine. Any other questions, guys?
I think mine was in there. Sorry, I've asked a few. Just about the volume of users of the oils. On a sort of, this is a bit, putting you on the spot here, but how many people use it across the globe / in the UK? Actual people.
Yeah, well, if you the next time you sign somebody up, you will see exactly how many accounts there are. So that will tell you how many users. So there's over 5 million users worldwide.
Right.
Okay, that's not retail though, so it's hard to, we don't know with the retail.
That's the wholesale accounts.
Yeah, that's wholesale accounts and wellness customer accounts.
That's pretty big. So 5 million people across the world are using the oils regularly.
Yes.
Cool.
And just on our team at the moment, 400 people a month are signing up. So new people. So it's just growing rapidly. I remember a year ago when it was like, 70. And so it's just growing rapidly. Yeah. So there's over 5 million.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
You're welcome. Someone said, I think it was Daniel that said he's got his first wellness consult, or Danielle, I hope I haven't, Danielle or Daniel.
I think it's Daniel, yeah.
Okay. First wellness consultation tomorrow. Congratulations. Any advice? Just keep it simple and genuine, so share your enthusiasm for the oils and products. You would have seen the training. Let me know if you haven't had any training at all. But to ask them about their oil experiences first of all, check they're using their oils, answer any initial questions, just help them to be empowered. The purpose of the wellness consultation is to empower them so that they know how to use the oils and they know how to look up other oils that they might want to buy. help them create a bit of a wish list. So share any other things that you're using that aren't the oils they've already purchased. Pick out some things in the brochure and the catalogue. Tell them about loyalty rewards program and how that's the best, most effective way of purchasing their oils if they're going to get something each month, and show them their account. That's kind of the main things you want to do in a wellness consultation. But speak to your upline, or look at the training video if you're